Hello and welcome to Tech Talks, the People and Planet podcast. Today I'm joined by Ran Roth, the CEO of IoT business Sensibo. Hello, Ran. Good to meet you. Good to see you.
Good to meet you, and thank you for the opportunity of talking about what we do.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us. Ran, it would be great for our listeners to understand a little bit more about Sensibo. What it's all about, the mission, the inspiration behind that, the problem that you're solving.
So Sensibo has been co-founded by me and my partner. We're both data scientists by background.
Okay.
We were looking for a combination of two things. One is a problem that needs to be solved where data and machine learning, where we come from, data science, would be crucial. And the other part is that it had to be impactful and important for the world. So we went through a lot of ideas, crossed them one by one until we reached the problem of indoor climate, like heating, cooling, and we realized it's such a big issue and it's being done almost in a criminal way today. So we said, okay, that must be fixed.
Okay, expand on that a little bit. Unwrap it then. So how does the product itself actually work?
So we started by researching a little bit what data air conditioners or heaters are using in order to decide how much to cool, how much to heat. Mm-hmm. And we saw, first of all, that something I think most people don't know, that more than a quarter of the energy of the world goes to that. So people usually think of energy as cars, 18%, airplanes 2%, but 25% goes to heating and cooling. So wow. It's an unaddressed issue. And then what we did was we said, okay, we wanted to first connect appliances to data, and we did this by we have a device that anyone can install in their home. It's a smart home device that connects existing air conditioners, heat pumps, heaters to the IoT. So the first thing is, of course, you can control it from anywhere. That's the first step. But then you start collecting data and analyzing it on the back end, and you can improve and optimize the system. Ultimately, it's about three things. It's about comfort, energy, which is the most important part, and also health, like air quality, like are we breathing good air.
So in regards to a podcast like this, where we're talking about helping people on the planet, this product is serving multiple purposes, right? It's better for the environment. There's a huge cost of living crisis that's spanning the world at the moment, with energy at the forefront of that, with bills going up regularly. I know where I'm based in the UK, that's a huge thing that we're seeing on the news very, very regularly. And of course, people's health as well, health, comfort, and air quality, as you say. So a huge mission. And a very important one. That's a massive stat as well. I wasn't aware that it was 25% of the world's energy is on heating and cooling. That's huge.
Yes, and I think that's part of part of the mission that we have, is to also make people aware of the breadth of that effect, and also another thing that I think lies in a lot of places in sustainability and impact is that you have these situations where it's really clear what you have to do. Okay, you have to move to electric cars. Everyone knows it. It's very clear. The path is clear. But with air conditioners, it's actually more difficult because the technology doesn't exist to really improve them by much. It's going to maybe happen in the future, but it's not where we are today. And on the other hand, you can't really stop using them because when temperature go high, people literally, crime is going up. People get more nervous. So you can think of it as a necessary evil, and then the question is, you deal with that evil in the best way. And we know that with data, smart thermostat and smart controllers can save 20% on average. So think of 20% on average of 25%. That means we have a potential here to save a significant amount of the energy that the world produces.
Yeah, that's an incredible number. Incredible number. So you started this business back in 2014. What's been the main changes in the industry since you've, in that nearly 10 years? Talk us through some of the challenges, maybe. I'm sure there's been some. It's rarely plain sailing. What have you had to overcome to get to where you are now?
So I guess in our case, first of all, we've had to overcome the compatibility issues with all the systems in the world because we want to be everywhere. And that's we did it. We primarily work today. We're the leading company, I'd say, for room air conditioning.
Yeah.
And now we're also targeting radiator heating. So that's a new product that we launched. So that was a big challenge, and today we have the best compatibility and reliability of. So the first thing you need to do is to have like a good connected product, which is, I think the whole industry of IoT was really facing that challenge. I mean, if you look at the level of IoT products in 2014, many of them couldn't be installed even by the geeks, right? It was like a very geeky thing. And it's becoming more and more prevalent. Like today, even my parents have like smart home devices. So it means it becomes more mainstream. And I guess we were on that curve of adoption. The other challenge is, of course, interoperability with other systems. So we are compatible with all the big, Google Home and Alexa and all these. So I think the main challenges are to sort of grow together with a curve and to try maybe because sometimes you're a bit ahead of the curve, sometimes you're behind. And for startups, sometimes being ahead of the curve it takes time until the curve really hits.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, it's certainly, again, where I am in the UK, probably air conditioners aren't as regular in as they would be where you are in Israel, of course, for the climate. But with heating situations, that's a completely different thing as well. So you guys are planning to. I mean, are you worldwide at the moment, or is that the plan?
Yeah, so we are very global at the moment. And you talked about air conditioning. So actually, a lot of our customers are not using this for cooling, but for heating, because many of them are in the Scandinavian countries where they already use electricity for heating, not gas. You have mostly in the UK and Germany, France, all these countries. Now there is a big trend of electrification. So a lot of governments are promoting it, and people are starting to install heat pumps. And of course, that creates an opportunity for us for our current devices. But also, we are launching a product that's compatible with radiators. So if you change your system to a heat pump, you'll be able to use our product also with your existing radiators. So whether you're changing to a room air conditioner or to a central heat pump, we are here for you, because that's basically to be compatible with all the systems and to make a big impact.
Interesting. Okay, great.
By the way,
Europe.
Go ahead.
Sorry, say that again.
I just want to say in Europe, if you include water heating, almost 90% of your home energy goes into cooling and heating. So it's a huge. It's basically the only thing that takes real energy. I mean, people. I see it all the time. People close the office or the door. They turn off the light, and they leave the air conditioning on, which is really strange because the light doesn't take energy. You can leave it on. I mean, leave on the lights, turn off the AC, right?
And so this device will automatically turn the air conditioning or the heating on at a certain time and then make it at a sustainable level, right?
Yeah, I guess that's the simplest use case of automation. But if you go, the further you go up, and today we're seeing a breakthrough in AI, and we also implemented a feature now with ChatGPT. The more you go up in complexity, and that's where I'd say, where we really get excited, is about the things you have to do automatically. So think that more and more the prices of energy are differing in a lot of countries today. You can sign up to programs where the energy cost will vary by the minute. Okay, depending on demand, right? And then there is a lot of optimization to do to save money and energy if you take into account the price, because the price also tells you how much more or less how much fossil fuels is used. So it's a little bit aligned, because when they have to turn on an old coal power plant just to answer the demand, the prices go up, right? So you have the opportunity of both saving money and helping the environment.
Yeah, interesting. And for the benefit of our listeners, then you buy the product. Is it something that the user can install themselves, or do you need a professional to install it?
Yeah, so it's easier than replacing a light bulb, basically.
Oh, really?
Our device for air conditioners is super easy because and for heat pumps, because it's actually remote, because these units usually come with a remote control. So it's actually, it doesn't even touch your AC. You don't need a screwdriver or anything. You just need a power outlet, and that's it.
Wow, easy. So what's next then? So you mentioned a few developments. Anything else that you can share with us? What's next for Sensibo?
So we are doing more and more AI-based features, things around energy, integration with solar, things that are, and so that's one part, let's say the complexity of what you can do and the optimization part. And the other part is getting more universal support from more systems. So we want to be in any type of indoor climate appliance, and that includes humidifiers and air purifiers, and anything that has to do with either heating, cooling, or air quality.
Yeah. Nice.
And always energy is sort of, I'd say, our North Star. Like how can we make an impact on energy?
And that, that leads me to the final question. What's your take on the future of IoT, the Internet of Things industry as a whole, and how that can really shape a more, I guess, sustainable future? And what part can companies like Sensibo play in that?
So I think that we're pretty early still in the days. I mean, when you think of the internet and what happened after they sort of fleshed out the HTTP layer or whatever, the protocol layer of the internet. So now I think we're starting to see the end of the beginning of that part. And I think the more exciting part is here, where we will have an operating system that each one of us will use, a platform for our smart home or for connectivity. And in that part, there will be different components. And I see us, Sensibo, for example, very strongly in the energy component, which is an important part. So unlike just connecting everything, there will be layers like Google Home or Alexa or one of these that will become I don't know, there will be maybe 2 or 3 big platforms. But then on top of it, there is a lot to do with the data. There you can save 20% on energy. That's a huge thing, right? If you can make people's lives healthier through that. So like all the things about, I want my light to be purple. Okay, that's nice. But in the end of the day, there is a lot more that you can do with smart home than we're seeing.
Absolutely. Well, look, I've just moved into a new house, so I'm certainly going to be looking you guys up. So Ran Roth, CEO of Sensibo, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.